It's been a buzzword for years, but right now it's much more. No longer a theme of science fiction movies, but a real force and change maker in all the industries. The pace in which AI is evolving and changing markets is incredible. As a tech company, our goal is to stay up to date and provide the best software products for our clients. And we cannot ignore AI in this. Today, I have a pleasure to talk to Krzysztof Szabelski, the Head of Technology at Future Processing, and Arek Skuza, US Consulting Director and Principal AI Strategist at Future Processing. Hello.
Great to be here.
Krzysztof, as a Head of Technology of software delivery company, you cannot ignore AI, can you?
Absolutely can.
So what are we doing right now?
So for months already we run a research to understand potential of mainly generative AI, which is recently something bigger than before. And we're researching what actually is new, what builds potential for us and our clients. And right now we're focusing on understanding how it can improve processes at our client organizations. So instead of building custom software, we can integrate AI solutions. And on the other hand, if we build a custom software, how AI, generative AI, can improve the process of software creation.
I know that we've been interested in AI in US market for a long time right now. So what is your view on how can we help as Future Processing in the US market?
Absolutely, I appreciate the comment that Krzysztof gave, and also appreciate the support we get in US on the US market. Most of the time, we focus on the use cases that can deliver what customers like to call a short-term results. Like companies are interested in strategically focus on artificial intelligence in different areas, but everybody wants to uncover what they call like low-hanging fruits, so quickly deliver results. And the proper use case, like finding the use case, the implementation, either for generative AI or other AI aspects, it's critical. So customers want to understand what's the problem statement, we do that for them, and then figure it out which use case they can bring to the production and implement it, and hopefully influence the return of investment and show stakeholders then the short-term results can be achieved, so the long-term are also achievable. So that's primary focus.
Yeah, if you talk about value that it can bring for our clients, and we've been providing software for 23 years right now. So is AI a real revolution in it? What does it change in the market?
To be honest, we do not know yet. It's still new. It's still under heavy supervision, let's say. There are a lot of concerns right now. So personally, I'm sure that this is another breakthrough. Like we have, let's say, internet, mobile phones, mobile platforms, revolution in image recognitions through machine learning, and that's another big step in that. But we don't know yet where it leads, and it's not only that generative AI is have impact on every businesses. It's like another breakthrough that will speed up next breakthroughs that we don't yet see, and that's why this is really important. And in terms of how generative AI is have potential to change like every business life. It just enables, let's say, analysis and transformation of data in not well-structured way. So enables a lot of new possibilities to actually automate stuff that we haven't been able to automate before.
Yeah, that's actually a very good question. And I would love to add one thing, that what we see on the American market is absolutely companies are increasing the investment in AI. So different reports says different things, but more or less by 2025, companies are going to double their AI investment. First of that, the reason is, and that's the latest Microsoft report that was published, is people are expecting increase in the productivity. ChatGPT was an open gate, as Chris mentioned. it's a first thing that happened and everybody can touch it, use it and understand it and influence our productivity. MIT just published a report saying that electricity increased the productivity by 35%, and generative AI is going to increase that by 50%, and people understand that. So companies are actually searching like image recognition, things like that, in that kind of productivity being achieved there. So, but people expect that. So every employee is looking for ways to increase the productivity. ChatGPT is an obvious way, BART is the another way, but there's any other ways. There are different software and things like that. But also like with these spendings, companies are doing more like a scaled proof of concept. So before it was like there was called pocketed proof of concept, like one proof of concept in marketing, second in supply chain. Now companies understand, and that's what Chris said. He called that like changing processes, automating processes. From our US perspective in the consulting, we see they search for proof of concept across enterprise. So they want to check if those technologies can increase productivity in supply chain market at the same time. That requires new resources, new engineers, but also different investment levels. So that's definitely a good question, and there is definitely a shift in the market. But I agree that we are actually at the beginning of that change, not only from the perspective of technology maturity, but also from the legal perspective. Like not every company is, for instance, Apple, they said to the employees they cannot use ChatGPT, which definitely influence their productivity. So we're going to see how companies are going to adapt.
ChatGPT was forbidden in Italy for quite some time.
Yes,
yeah.
definitely.
So we go in this area of cybersecurity and ethics when it comes to it.
Yes.
So what are your thoughts on this aspect? Because as a trusted technology partner, we know that NIS2 is going to change the market. Absolutely. We as a tech partner will be responsible for the cybersecurity, of course, of the solutions. So what do you think is the way with AI in it?
Absolutely. It's, we are a technology company, but we understand that technology does not live in separation. The privacy, legal, cybersecurity is very important aspects if we want to apply that technology to any process. So the point is that there is no simple answer to any of those topics. So on the legal side, there are a lot of risks that comes from the fact that this is just not regulated yet. And we can have very well understanding of the licenses, terms of use, and stuff like that, but still it can change in future. So it's very important to have it understood. We did our homework, understood it, and we now help our clients to understand potential of technology and the risks that they will have to accept at the current legal state around that. In terms of security, it's again, people tell us a lot about the data security. Is it okay to enclose any private information into ChatGPT or any other publicly available models? And that's a viable question. I have my own answer or our policy that we recommend to our clients, but it would vary from company to company. There is another security concern, which is about the jailbreaking of models. So it's not that easy to control the access to informations that might be in the model as it is in classic systems. So for the moment, we need to consider anything that is used to train a model that can be extracted from the model. So that's another concern for security officers and companies using it, how we can build a large knowledge bases that would be really useful, but we are not really for the moment have ability to control who access what information. So it's a big concern for the moment.
Mm-hmm. I know that law is a bit different in US. There's no GDPR, but there are other laws that are similar to this. So do you have any ideas how it can look like in 1 year time or 2 year time when it comes to law in AI in US?
Yeah, thank you. That's a very good question. We understand what is going on right now, and we talk to our customers in US about the current situation. What is the current situation? We know there is a huge discussion right now on the on the Congress level, like President Joe Biden and all these important players in the market are constantly trying to build either executive orders, which President of the United States can send to each state and suggest the change, or we can see states like North Dakota, like Texas, where we based, but also California, and as far as I understood from the recent news, like also Illinois. Those states are actually taking a lot of insight from Europe. Why is that? GDPR in Europe was created many years ago and is considered by United States and was one of the best matured privacy and sensitive information, and regulated law in the world. But obviously, it cannot be copied, or it cannot be implemented like one-to-one in United States. First reason is each state is different. In United States, the legislation is different, and obviously there is no one person in United States can force everybody to accept one law, which is different in European Union. But I want to mention one thing that also Chris said, that when we talk to our customers, and obviously we are a company that was created in Europe, so we have a long experience with GDPR, but so we can bring a lot of insight to United States, and we discuss that with customers. But also I want to mention one thing. So when we look at the United States, we have frameworks suggested by commercial companies. Like for instance, Google have their own framework that suggests to companies if they want, whenever they want to train models in an ethical, bias-free, considering diversity way. That frameworks, which we also discuss with our American customers, are focused on experimentation and monitoring the results of the model. So they want to make sure that the models are treating everybody equally. In Europe, we have a different situation. We have a European Union, and we also track that for our customers as a benchmark, that released already like 7 different elements of properly trained models. So the goal is the same, and that's fantastic news, but the approach will be different. So answering your question directly, obviously what we know there is a huge discussion. It will be regulated. It will be regulated differently in different states. And there will be a lot of insight coming from Europe that will actually inspire American authorities to build their own regulations / recommendations, I would say.
Thank you for that. From US perspective, AI is a thing that is incredibly interesting for all the countries, all the industries. It's present everywhere. And you mentioned automation, optimization, so the values that it can bring to all the industries. What tips can you give to C-level executives that are planning or considering engaging AI into their business?
I'll start with a simple one, just to not be too afraid of it and to try to leverage it. Just for me, it's obvious that that's something I heard recently. I really agree with that. That in this case, you either can be disrupted or you will be disrupted at some point. So it's worth to experiment. It's worth to see what we can do to improve our organization, and then concern. So what risk it actually brings, and is it worth risking it? So that would be the first thing. The second might be go to talk to people about it. Talk to organizations like us, technology organizations that. It's it's part of what we do, so we have quite a good understanding of how to apply it, what risks that it brings on general level, and we can cross-check it with the industry-specific, organization-specific bits to actually see where is the best potential for the organization to leverage on that.
I believe that some people think that AI can do everything. So we are so overwhelmed with the potential, and sometimes the C-level executives as well are not so sure what what they can actually do with it. Because it's not like sky is the limit right now. We have some boundaries.
Absolutely, yeah. So it might in future do everything. There's a lot of discussion about it going on right now, and about the alignment, what we actually are building this AI for. Is it going to be beneficial or not for humanity? But no, yeah, so far, I would say the most obvious case is to build the knowledge bases to process large or just information in not structured way, like handwritten contracts, documents, articles, just random data from various sources, and process them to generate new content, to try to figure out answers, generally knowledge bases. Chatbots is bots that connects capabilities of large language models as ability to create text, conversational text, with specified, very specific to given company or industry knowledge that is applied on the top of that. That's the simplest use case for the moment that we see. So that's what I would look for. I would start looking at. It's a knowledge basis.
I know that AI can't learn, it just processes the data that you share with it. So there are a lot of things that we can do with AI, but what we should not do with AI, Arek? Any ideas? What do you think about this question?
Yeah. Thank you for this. Before I answer that, I will only mention one thing, that companies that are implementing AI, whenever we look at our customers or study industry research or study verticals, we see that they at least can double their bottom line. What I mean by that, they either can lower the cost and influence the margin of their business, or they can increase the revenue. So I want to say only one thing, because Chris explained that perfectly, that there is no way you can ignore the AI. You need to be there. But to be there, and now I will answer the question, you need to have the data properly prepared. So what not to do is companies needs to be very aware of that AI can be an endless investment. What I mean by this is it can take a lot of money and bring a lot of discouragement to the company if we cannot show the short-term, at least short-term, long-term results. Let me give you an example. One of the company we were working on the use cases was trying to improve the customer relationship management software activities. And we recommended not to do certain things because we could see that the data is not in place. It's not even about cleansing the data, like making it better. There was just not that data there. Another example I can share here is one of the company that talked to us. They used to have inconsistent data. So what I mean by this is they were monitoring the water quality, and suddenly they hired drones to take pictures. The data before was different than the data is now because we have images delivered by drones. In this situation, just jumping into AI, it's not always a good way. What I mean by this is companies need to be very conscious about AI is not for everything. So data can influence a lot of the AI decision. If we have a good data, not a good data. Obviously, I'm kind of like putting on the black and white buckets. It's not always black and white, but AI, it's not always an answer. So my biggest no would be there need to be reason behind we want AI, ML, deep learning, whatever, supervised, unsupervised algorithms, whatever we pick up, to do it. Sometimes it can be simple math or statistics or whatever. It doesn't have to be AI. So in fact, I want to tell you and our audience that AI is not a solution for everything, and it needs to be a reason behind that. So that's how we eliminate the hype of AI being everywhere, which is actually not useful everywhere. That's what I want to say.
Yeah, it's very helpful because right now, because it's so hot topic, It seems that everyone
Correct.
wants it and everyone thinks
Yes.
that it can help.
Yes.
I would say one more thing. It might be obvious to many of us, but it's just technology. And because it is so good in at the first impression, we may easily get into trap that is actually solving all problem. It have all knowledge in the world, is just as another person to talk to, and is very smart and is hell smart person. It's not a person. It is hell smart. So it might be a trap to to just rely on it too much, and it is just technology with its limitation. We just need to be conscious and learn about prompt engineering, how it works, what the limitations actually are, so that we do not try to apply it to the places it will just not fit. It's like taking the smartest person in the world and multiply it by 100, but the person never left its home or the ecosystem it's living, and then transfer that person to the other part of the world, to the totally another culture ecosystem, and just let him live there and answer questions. That would be weird. That would be really weird, and that's where we are. And that's where we are. So we need to be. We just need to learn how this technology works. What's its limitation?
I really liked your sentence that AI is just technology, a part of all this amazing engine that we have within technology. So it's another part of digital transformation that we can run with AI, but also cloud, ML, and all the other options that are available for companies, also within our future processing stack here. So thank you very much for your conversation. It was amazing to see you here today. Thank you very much. If you want to learn about AI or just talk about possibilities of future processing, feel invited to comment and to reach out to Krzysztof and Arek, who are always open to any discussions on the topic.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Absolutely, thank you.